A few months ago, VladTV was trending on Twitter for like 2 days. My name was trending because
I must have seen it.
There was a fake article that was blaming me for Casanova 2 times getting busted by the feds on RICO charges.
I did hear that.
There was a fake article saying that we're mentioned in the paperwork, which is not true. And then like people like Questlove were like retweeting it, telling people not to interview with VladTV and everything. It got kind of ugly. You know, I didn't really say anything at the time because it was really just a fake article, and sometimes addressing things ends up making them worse to a certain regard. But what happened was,
give it oxygen.
A few months later, we actually got a hold of the audio from Casanova's bail hearing, which ended up getting denied. And you actually hear the feds say in the hearing, which we'll play a little clip of, that they're using Casanova's interview with Nick Cannon to deny his bail. Nick Cannon's name got mentioned twice.
And in the defendant's own words, in a November 2019 radio interview with Nick Cannon, the defendant made clear that he is, quote unquote, still Ape. That is, a member of Gorilla Stone. With regard to media interviews the defendant has done, defense counsel references interviews where he said good things about the community, and he references that interviews where he mentions his violent past are about the violent past and have nothing to do with the present. I would just reiterate the Nick Cannon interview from 2019 where he says, still Ape. So he's currently still a member of Gorilla Stone.
Where was that interview?
Oh, it wasn't an interview. It was the actual audio from the bail hearing. We posted it on our YouTube channel.
No, but I'm saying you talking about
the interview he did with Nick Cannon was on Nick Cannon's radio show in LA. And what the feds were using was that Casanova in the Nick Cannon interview said, I'm still Ape, meaning he is still associates himself with this gang that they're trying to pin him on, the Untouchable Gorilla Nation. And they used that part from his interview to say that.
Wow.
Now, earlier in the interview, he actually says, I'm not really affiliated with that, whatever else, but the feds are going to use what they're going to use and so forth. But it was just very interesting how all this time people were calling me the feds when Nick Cannon's interview actually got used in his case.
And what, have you since highlighted that? Or
yeah, I'm definitely highlighting that. Because at the end of the day, is Nick Cannon the feds? No. Am I the feds? No. We just do interviews. And people are going to say what they're going to say. And I'm sure with you being on VladTV as a regular guest, I'm sure you get messages and DMs like, why are you working with the feds and with the police and all that?
A little
bit. People probably tell you you're going to go to jail right after the next interview. What are some of the craziest things people tell you on social media?
You know, I don't pay too much attention to that kind of stuff, to be honest. Like, one of the things I will say is, you know, our interviews have done pretty well.
Yeah.
From what I'm seeing. Mm-hmm. But I try not to read the comments because, you know what I mean? You could have 99 wonderful, positive comments, and that 100th one will crush your fucking soul. These motherfuckers, their comments, they will crush your soul. They will talk about your grandmama. You know what I'm saying? They will wish you dead. They will, I'm telling you, man. But, you know, like I said, I base my decisions on my life and my dealings with a particular person. You know, but look, in this cancel culture type of world, you know, it's you know, people try to wipe you out, man, and try to wipe out like all your equity. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like when I got in trouble, when I bumped my head, you know, they tried to cancel me, and I'm 30 years in the game. You know what I mean? If you're around 30 years in the game, you're gonna bump your head from time to time. You know what I mean? I don't know a celebrity that's been around that long that hasn't. But what you hope is, you know, if you're trying to make amends, that people understand that you can be forgiven, or, you know, look past it, and then look at the equity. Look at someone's mountain of work. You know, it's easy. It's easy to throw stones from the sidelines, and people love to do it. But you know, I mean, it's, you know, look, I don't think you doubted what the situation was. I think it was good for you to, you know, to get that kind of audio to confirm it. But I don't, you know, it didn't change your mind about the situation. You know what I'm saying?
No. It's just annoying to me that, like, for example, people like Questlove, who went out of their way to try to.
Well, I mean, you're the devil. You're the devil. I mean, you're easy. It's
right.
You
know I mean, you know, like I said, who really, with their 10 million plus Twitter followers, who went out of their way, and it's interesting because I DM'd them, and I'm like, yo, just so you know, you're retweeting a fake article. Like, we're not part of this case. And he was like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never even mentioned you. And I'm like, screen capture. Here you go.
Yeah, you did.
Here's your damn tweet. And he's like, he deleted the tweet.
Did he?
Yeah. And then I'm like, hey, here's the person actually associated with it. Are you going to correct yourself? You know what I mean? Like, are you gonna keep that same energy to fix some of the damage you caused? And he just blocked me at that point.
Oh, word?
Yeah. So
well, you know what? I know Quest a long time. Quest is a good guy. I think sometimes, you know, everybody can kind of get caught in a wave, and they're not doing their due diligence, and they're not, you know, they retweeting something that maybe hasn't been properly researched, or is based on innuendo, or just, you know, cats just throwing stuff up against the wall. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, and this climate is just like that. I mean, they'll retweet something that, you know, you don't know if that's accurate. People do that stuff all the time, you know, in terms of political stuff and whatever. And I think, you know, I'm just saying, people need to be careful. Like, you know, it's not that I've never tweeted anything that I've regretted, but, you know, I always try to make sure, particularly if I'm retweeting something, or even if I'm tweeting something in my own mind, if I'm feeling like, you know, you should be able to tweet something and then bang, send it out. Whenever I'm doing something and I'm like a little, maybe I'll wait. I may sleep on it. And sometimes that next day I'm just like, nah, you don't want to do that.
Right.
Or send it on. I stand by that. You know, but people do have to understand, when you're tweeting and retweeting stuff, you know, that's on you. That's your name. That's your reputation. Right. You're either going to stand by it, or be like, yo, you know what? My bad.
Right.
I didn't know that was based on a falsehood, or I didn't know that was based on, you know.
And that's fine that he made a mistake. I'm just, you know, my whole thing is like, yo, you should make it right. You should at least address it, because you have a very sizable following. You know what I mean? And it's like, I remember when that shit was happening, we were getting like some cancellations for interviews that were like essentially locked in because of people like Questlove basically pushing a false narrative. So my whole thing is like, all right, you made a mistake. Don't just ignore it and then block me. Like, yo, like, if you made a mistake, go ahead and address it. I've made mistakes and I've addressed them publicly in tweets and in Instagram posts. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference. So I feel some type of way about it.
It's a lot easier to pull out the toilet roll than to put it back. When you try to put it back, it don't look the same. It doesn't.
It's a little lumpier.
Yeah, it's a little. Like, you ever see that tissue commercial with the bears and shit?
Right.
Bears always wiping their ass, and then it's like, hey, you okay? This motherfucker unraveled. The whole fucking shit is on the floor. Now he try to put it back together. It's all fucking lumpy and shit.
Oh, man. It is what it is. But next time you see Questlove, mention that shit
to him.
Oh,
my God. I will certainly not mention that the next time I see Questlove.
Well, I'll mention next time I see him. You know what I mean? Because I mean, historically, me and Quest have been cool. Like, we used to DM each other. We run into each other.
Quest is a great guy. But, you know, look, these things, you know, people see things, the knee jerk, send it out, whoop-de-whoop. And you know, we don't always foresee the ramifications or the results.
Right.
So, you know.
There you go.
Who knows? Maybe, you know, we use that to get him to do an interview. The one-on-one, Questlove and Vlad.